Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age Mythology Replay. So on bottom or top or right side as the red Susanoo, we have Leyline Leia. Spawn bottom left side as the blue Ra, we got Jollyman. And it looks like actually blue's player 2, so this might be a bit of a custom game between these two players. This I believe is a bit of a clan fight. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, Ra is, of course, a default major god, but Susanoo is one of the new gods. Myth units and god powers tributes are large favor generated for each Bushido tier. Myth units earn Bushido XP passively and through combat, like, say, the Norse. Invokes god powers are 25% cheaper to re-invoke, so you can repeat them more often, and units have a bit more special abilities. But since it's not a live game there, the game does pause when pulling that stuff up, so I'm probably going to be not pulling up the descriptions all too much since it doesn't do play in the background. So we'll pause the game. Miko right there does get a bit of healing done. And it looks like Red does obtain some goats. We do have the monument to Ra here, which he needs to start empowering it to get the AoE empowering, such as on the mining camp. There will be a lesser empowerment on other sources, but he can still at least empower the town so to get the improved food drop off, if I remember correctly. Now he's doing a full empowerment. And now it's going to build the temple there as well. The first initial god power for Susanoo, I think that's how I'll say his name. I just think of Susan as in a female name. Cast down with a sword. I've pronounced that. Kusangani. Kusangagi. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it whatsoever. A sword that damages nearby enemies and summons a riptide to blast them skyward. So it's like this shockwave, but a little more powerful, but not as reusable. Do now the age up, Inari Okami, which will give access to 9-tail Foxos. Of course, Red does start out with a single Kitsune, but you can always pull out more Kitsune. Miko here is empowering the shrine, getting a decent number of, let's see, Red's getting how much favor? It says the 0 per minute. That's probably incorrect, but I have to switch over the player. 17, so a very good amount. There's the Kitsune. And got a number of structures going up. You have now all this going on up. A single Kitsune moving over here. Do have the Wadjet here, a myth unit I still absolutely hate. And does get some poison damage on this Kitsune. No additional Kitsune being deployed in the field. We do have some Naginata riders being deployed in the field. An anti-range cavalry. It's more similar, closer to the raiding cavalry, I think, overall. Though I think the multiplier is a bit more Marion Hippus, not thinking about it. Just good attack speed and better multiplier like raiding cavalry. It looks like the Joro Gumo is slowing down formation, but the Naginata riders could separate from the formation and get improved passive mobility thanks to the nearby Kitsune. And with the minor god he selected, Inari Okami, gets access to the 9-tail Kitsune upgrade, allowing to double stack the aura, so the entire formation can have up to 6.6 movement speed. You have some samurai being deployed in the field as more Naginata riders, blah. And the Kitsune do provide some experience with as counts as a myth unit with him. Very nice. So he does get some Bushido experience.
Into you.
We got some spearmen pushing way forward, getting some damage on the Naginata riders. And there is ability to escape out of there, but it looks like he will get hit by a good number of spearmen. The priest is getting eaten by the various myth units. It looks like the priest will go down. More speed being employed on the field. Kitsune don't have super high DPS. Their attack speed's pretty slow, but they're cheap. Cost a little bit higher in favor. They're meant to be a scout. There's a katana. Another spearman there. The next summon's actually relatively cheap. Does bring in the Kami. Oh, so deploying a myth god power makes the other god powers cheaper. So that's how that works. Doesn't make its own god powers cheaper. Does make his the other god powers cheaper. Very interesting. Means if it provides more value as later on. What's going to eat in there? The kappas here will start eating individual units. See, they're sticking their heads out like that. It's like one of the god powers I think is going to be nerfed in the future patches, because that is a pretty powerful god power at the moment. Naginata riders are falling back. May want to find one of those Mikos in order to start healing them up. And may want to get the Spider Lady out of the formation. You now have some scallop axes being researched. More samurai being employed in field. In Age of Mythology, they have just good melee damage, good multiplier versus infantry, slow attack speed. Oh, they have a charge attack as well. Looks like these units are trying to fall back there. The Naginata Rise, another drop there. Makes the Kamis have cost 25 less favor, which is quite significant. And that god power is cheap enough to span out to make the other god power cheaper. So in theory, if you deploy this one 3 or maybe 4 times, it could get reduced down to 3. If that does get multiplicatively applied. So there's also an argument to wait for this god power until you pull out this god power once, so it makes it immediately cheaper than perhaps cast it again. I need to play around with it myself. We do have some more Naginata Riders being pulled in field. There's a medium Naginata Riders. We've got Ono Mushas being pulled in field, and more medium Samurai. Priest getting a lot of good healing there. We do have a number of Axemans here. Spearmen are generally the way to go, but a handful of them wouldn't be half bad against the Samurai. They are 4 populations, they're quite population intensive. They are a small elite force. Spearman getting good damage on those Naginata Riders. And they do have decent movement speed. No Kitsune in order to help improve their movement speed. Nor do I believe he has the 9-tailed Kitsune upgrade. You can bring in another axe relatively soon. And look at that favor generation. He is swimming in favor at the moment. I think it's because all of these hunts, all these crowned cranes applying decent amount of experience for him. Hippos being aggravated there. Bushido tier 2 will give him 75 additional favor, which honestly is not a lot. Let's see if I switch over to him. Currently providing 14. Yeah, this actually favor generation is not too high at the moment. It does give him free medium status, which is very nice. More Kappas being summoned now. There's another Naginata. You see here none of the Axemen getting pulled under. Naginata Rise not eyeing for the villagers who are trying to escape through the gate. A couple openings there. Will not take out any of them, though a couple of them were left behind a little bit. More of the throwing axemen gets grabbed. He's losing so many of these spearmen throwing axemen to that Kappas. Yeah, that god power's both gotta get nerfed. Because I'm pretty sure that did almost as much damage as a Hera Lightning Storm. Got pretty close to it. As a good reference point. Maybe the copper pool needs to be shrunk down to something about this radius rather than this radius. Yeah, that could probably either the duration needs to be reduced, the number of ticks needs to be reduced, or yeah, radius, duration, or ticks of grabs, or limit the number of grabs, because that god power seemed a little bit too strong. More samurai do now have some Yumi archers being pulled in the field. Does find some of these reinforcements. Right now, blue does 2 towns on this. Red only has the 1. So blue has plenty of villager advantage, but red has a much larger army at the moment. But blue has a bit more of a counterforce of the spearmans. We're constantly getting healed up by these priests. Spearmen will get some good damage here, don't get me wrong, but they will probably be defeated, but they do not. More spearmen push away forward, trying to get some good engagements. Naginata riders falling on back. Over here we do have a good number of the samurais here. Yumi archers being engaged by some spearmen. Yumi archers, compared in the other games, is just pretty much just generic archers similar to Tuxface, is put simply put. So they have slow attack speed. Another round of Kappas being pulled in the field. Spearman trying to engage some Naginata riders. More of these guys being grabbed. Trying to break through that wall now. And the Kappas are now gone. Does manage to break on through. Spearmen and Axemen trying to pursue, but most 50-50 mix. Electrum bolts now being summoned. Counter archer units with now a bit of divine damage. He's now trying to age up to Rajin. Let's see, gets access to Rajus. Thunder's Apprentice, Den drums. Hana masks and Heavenly Barrage. Copper upgrades has been researched by blue. And right now, blue has enough gold to age up, just need more food. Still has access to the rain god power when he does need more food from farms, but mostly he doesn't have too many farms at the moment. There are also some relics on this side of the map you can still claim, like the blue crystal shard, which does provide faster wood and gold collection rate by 5%. Very nice to have. Next round of Bushido's about to get researched. He will have access to heavy units in age, well, currently age 2, soon to be age 3. Now we do have the age of Sobek to get access to Petri Sos, which can be upgraded to Pet Sobek. Thanks, Grant. There's the heavy cavalry. Also gets a pile of favor of like 75. Next pile of favor is just 100. Another Naginata deployed on, or Katana deployed on the field. Good number of spearmen engaging the Naginata riders. The Axemen are engaging the samurai. The samurai are pretty beefy and they are anti-infantry as well. Right now, the Egyptian player does in the age up get out probably some chariot archers to help deal with these guys. We're now trying to deal with the heavy cavalry. The heavy samurai are still a bit of a problem. And there's the age up, and do now have the Thunderous Burst. Thunderous Burst does Unleash Earth-Shaking Rajan, deals turn radius. Miko shrunk opening pulling field. Blue did lose a good number of villagers there. There's the Rock, the Petsovic, or Petsochos is pushed way forward now. And here comes a Locust, a little bit of a desperate Locust there. He's trying. Miko Stronghold's quick go on down. Priests now trying to push the way forward to cleave to Petsochos. Another Katana now deployed on the field. May could see the ring God of Power, but right now gonna be villagers now hit the town bell trying to get on in. And it looks like a number of these villagers going down. Blue's not really producing all too much, trying to go for more chariot archers. And there's the Raju. A lightning two-tailed wolf. What's with the Japanese having two-tailed creatures or multi-tailed creatures? You got the cats, the Nekomatas, I think they're called, which are like a split-tailed cat. Of course, got the Kitsune, and of course now the Raju. I suppose a lot of Greek mythologists, oh, something is part human, part something else. Chinese, like, oh, this thing has part dragon. Let's take a bit of damage there. You have some axemen here trying to deal with the cavalry. And it looks like Blue's not on the back of the game, trying to go for more chariot archers to help deal with the samurai. There is a bit of a wall there to fire from. Chariot archers do have a bit of multiplier versus infantry, but they still have pretty good base damage to everything else, though the attack speed's a little bit slow, but they do have good range. Of course, these are unupgraded walls, so they'll go down pretty quickly right there. And they will back off behind the other walls there. They also have mobility for mounted units, actually not very fast, same as the spearmen. Ah, shifting sand was utilized at one point in time. My apologies since I missed that. Right now, red's at Popcat, blue is not. Blue's also lost a significant amount of civilians, so he is behind there. Looks like blue needs some ballistics for these chariot archers. Of course, there's no gate there, so opponent can continue to pursue, like with the heavy Naginata Rider. We will get bonus damage on these guys. More gates back here. We do now the Dark Waters there to give him a more better camels, as well as give them a bit of health regen. More Naginata Riders, those camel riders would be a good idea. He knows he's a little bit weak to the Naginata Riders, so going for those wouldn't be half bad. Got a castle here. Villagers trying to shank it. Raiju got a pretty good stun there. Will get picked off though. Camel riders are only meat at the moment. Looks like the castle is weaker than the mid-gold stronghold. But it looks like it has higher attack speed as well, so DPS, oh, looks like it went up. 33. This is 38. We have now some siege or Yumis being put on field, a siege crossbow thing. Oh yeah, it's more close to an Age of Empires 2 Scorpion since it has a ground-based piercing projectiles. We now have a settlement being obtained here. Bit of walls here for the collecting of the gold. Naginata riders will be intercepted by some of these camera riders who do have ×2 multiplier versus cavalry. So they are medium versus heavy. But there's a fair number of camel riders here at the moment. More axemen being summoned. Probably from these front line to deal with the samurai. We do now have some of these Yumi horse archers good against infantry. Castle got interrupted. We got a rock here flopping about though. It looks like we are going to see the Stonewall upgrade for the Japanese player. We do have the AV Camel Riders for blue for the Egyptian player. Notice these trade archers took a lot of free damage there. Lost a pretty good formation of them. And now we do have Champion in Age 3. Awesome does get a pile of favor to work with. You can start getting some more god powers. Camera Riders pushing the way forward. Another Kappa there. Another Naginata. Those are Camera Riders can be grabbed by the Kappas. Additionally, this also made the Thunderburst god power even cheaper. It was 150, now it's just at a simple 85. These are medium camera riders, champion Naginata riders, so champion Naginata riders have a lot of value behind them. The Pharaoh may want to stop empowering and start attacking. And blue does resign. Zangrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to next replay.